Hey, what's up you guys? Today we are talking about just how much this video is going to save you in retirement. But before we can do that, I just need to put out a quick disclaimer that I'm not a tax professional or a financial advisor, and that I'm just some guy on the internet who's done his own research over the last few years and wants to share that with you. I've done a lot of research into tax advantage retirement accounts, investing, real estate investing. All of those topics kind of just fall under the scope of things that I'm interested in, and so that's what I like to talk about. With that out of the way, if you like this kind of comparison video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below to see more content like this in the future. It could end up saving you anywhere from $53,000 to $400,000 in retirement, which I'm going to break down for you in this video. Our topic today covers 3 things that you need to know and answer about retirement. The first is why you should invest. The next thing is when you should start investing. And then finally, we're going to break down just how you can save $400,000 in retirement. And that brings us to the first point. Why should you be investing? Well, chances are if you're here, you're already interested in investing, so why would I bother to cover this at all? Well, it's estimated that 64% of Americans aren't prepared to retire ever. Half of them don't even care that they aren't prepared well. And 25% of Americans don't have any retirement savings at all. Investing is primarily for 2 things. The first being retirement. It's likely that someday you'll probably want to stop working to pursue passions, hobbies, travel, or just anything else that you'd rather be doing than going into your desk every day. The second reason to be investing is for financial freedom. Financial freedom is allowing you to go and do the things that you love without having to worry about paying the bills at the end of every month. You could also be investing for a house, although this is actually not recommended by professionals unless you have 5 or more years to ride out any sort of dips and dives in the market for this to be a good idea. You can also be investing to pay for your kids' college, which is a great example of investing not to worry about the bills that you have to pay at the end of every month. Tuition is expensive. And finally, another way to invest is just by smashing the like button. Remember, the bluer the like button, the better. I'm just trying to make Graham Stephan proud here. And that brings us smoothly into our second point about when to start investing. Well, the short answer is right now. But let's go ahead and take a look at an example to prove our point. This is going to be a great example of the power of compound interest. If you started investing $500 per month for 10 years and then left it alone for the next 30 years, you would have $702,000 invested. But if you waited 10 years to start investing and invested $500 per month for the next 30 years, you would actually only have $610,000. This just goes to show how important it is to start investing as soon as possible. And finally, the moment everyone's been waiting for, the math lesson. Okay, well, not really, but sort of. We're actually going to be talking about 2 different tax advantage retirement accounts. The first is known as a traditional account, which is also called a pre-tax account. This means simply that you get taxed on the growth of the account, not on the contributions. So the contributions that you put into the account are pre-tax. The Roth account is called a post-tax account, which just means that you get taxed on the contributions, not on the growth of the account. This is a really big advantage, and we're about to see why. Now, to show you some real numbers on this, we're actually going to look at 2 different scenarios. The first scenario, let's say that you only have access to a Roth IRA option or your 401k. This means that you can contribute about $500 per month, which caps out at $6,000 per year. So after 30 years of contributing to this, you would have about $610,000. When this is in the form of a traditional account, you pay taxes on the $430,000 of growth, which leaves you with a big tax bill of about $130,000. This is assuming a 30% tax rate, which is the national average, so that's what I'm using for the math here. This gives you a new final balance of only $480,000, which is still a lot, but it's not nearly as much as it could be. In the Roth scenario, you would only been taxed on your contributions, which is $180,000. This leaves you with a tax bill that you've already paid of about $77,000. Now this is great because the number that you see on the screen, that's $610,000, is actually your final account balance. So from a tax perspective, you save about $53,000. But in a final account balance perspective, you save about $130,000. Now let's look at an even better scenario where your work offers you a Roth 401k. This is great because the limit on this account is actually $20,000, which is about $1,667 per month. In the traditional scenario now, you spend about $430,000 taxes, versus in the Roth, you spend about $257,000 in taxes. This gives you a tax break of $173,000. This is going to give you a final account balance difference, though, wait for it, of $430,000. Now do you see why I'm starting to like the Roth quite a bit more? So while I'm not a professional, I said that at the beginning, I am, however, an engineering student, which means that I'm pretty solid on my math and on my research. I think it would be really cool to do more of these comparison videos in the future, so if you guys have any ideas, please go ahead and just comment those down below for anything you want to do the research on, but maybe you don't have the time. I'm going to go ahead and compress that into a 10-15 minute video for you and give you all the information that will get you started on that topic I've got for you today. So if you like today's video, go ahead and remember to hit the like button. And if you want to see more great content like this in the future about your life, money, or business, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Bye.